Castle of Castle does with some Subnautica going on. I'm doing random bug fixing at this point in time, and still a lot of communication with the rest of the team on the back burner, and just sort of talking about stuff. So things haven't quite ramped up into a full out get it done just yet, but it's getting close. It's getting really close. One of the things that was commented about the Stonehenge entities, the Stonehenge geometry, is that it was a little bit too unnatural. So I went in and modified to make it look a little bit more natural. It kind of defeats the point of a Stonehenge, but whatever. It's totally fine. Maybe it started off as unnatural. After billions and trillions of years, it formed into that. I don't know. On camera stretch. On camera. Okay, alright, I'm done. So, I just cracked my entire back. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I mean, hey, look at this. Also, floating models. Totally unfucking cool. Floating models. I did this? Or did the models no, I might have to go back and look at the old videos and see if I had fucking floating models when I placed these things, because I swear they weren't floating when I placed them. I don't know what happened. New materials going on in this whole area up here, and this area ended up, because I was just jumping around to different spots, and I'm pretty sure there was more than just this. I worked on this for a little bit, and then I jumped to at least 2 more areas to fix like random bugs and stuff like that. This area ended up conflicting with one of the other designers level, and we haven't yet broken out things to other files, other separate files. What am I doing here? Oh, okay. That's the way I have to find bugs right now. This is something that I ended up having to complain about. We'll get world coordinates for where a bug is taking place, but that's completely meaningless to me because there was no another fucking Unity problem. There's no like move camera to this location. Oh, to me that's just so standard. And another thing too is like the giant ship and just doing some kind of collision on it was another bug, because one of the playtesters complained that the ship didn't have any collision at all. So I decided to just do something really basic, because I know it's all going to change pretty soon anyway. And then I realized that it's actually kind of a pain in the butt to line up a collision box. I'm thinking to myself, seriously, it would be easier to just have a simple collision mesh and just do a mesh collider on it or something to get this to be exact. But one of the other things that's coming up too is how freaking huge the ship is. This it's the biggest thing I've ever seen in a game. Like, you could build entire games within that ship. That ship is fucking huge. You don't even realize how big it is. It's so big that you don't even know what's going on with it. That's what she said. But I tried really hard. I'm thinking to myself, is there a way to rotate a collider? Yeah, there is. You have to make a separate object or sub-object or something. But I'm just trying to do something that's really fast and simple, and it ended up being more complicated than it should have been. Honestly, when it comes to putting simple collision on a mesh, I'm pretty much a firm believer that the model file itself should be the thing that has the collision on it. But putting some sphere colliders just to get something in place It's good enough to get the job done, but I'm not happy with it, and I ended up just messing around with this for like way too long because not even close to being exact. But you shouldn't even be able to get near the damn thing anyway. And we're talking about whether or not we want to blow this ship up and turn it into something else, or I don't know. What are we gonna do with this thing? What should we do with it? Like, there's so many different possibilities with this. Like, what do you think we should do with it? It's so huge that we can actually have entire environments surrounding the ship. It's that big, but we don't have the manpower on our team to actually put an interior. So like, it's just this big elephant in the room. You can't get inside of this thing. We can't acknowledge it for anything other than a place to get scrap metal. We can't we we can't really do anything particularly interesting with the ship, but it's there and it's massive. Okay, so all these blue blocks right here are batches, and one of the things that I was asked is to experiment with, like, what happens when you move the ship even closer to the playable space that's already there. And at this point, this is just total experimentation and messing around with the whole thing. That ship is so big, it's almost the size of the entire playable space in the beginning when you first start out. Like, when we first released the game, that ship is larger than the entire playable space. What to do? Like, ultimately, it's what the player wants, right? And what we can do. So those are the two things: what can be done and what the player wants. So, all right. Thank you for watching.